Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Just a quick kind of emergency podcast, if you will. But I just got off of a quick virtual pod with Oliver, and he's better known as Sailing with Phoenix. But we did a quick mid ocean check in and just wanted to see how things were going and everything like that with him. So, without further ado, we're going to get into it. But if you want to help support this channel, check out the links in the description and help support Sailing into Oblivion going forward. But that's all I want to say about that. Here is my quick check-in convo mid-Pacific Ocean with Sailing with Phoenix.
Hey,
Holy smokes, dude. We got you. Look at this.
yeah,
Oh, welcome back,
thanks,
dude.
man. I'm doing it.
I know you are, man. Dude, I was just looking at the tracker. You're almost like right at midpoint,
Yeah, I
mid-trip.
think
Like,
tomorrow I'll be basically halfway.
wow.
Yeah,
Dude, congratulations, my friend.
yeah,
Like
thanks,
this
man.
is pretty cool. Like I was out on the Atlantic and then I got back and I check in and you're out there already just crushing it, dude. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was
How's it
great.
been?
The first week was nuts, man. It was nuts because I was in like this kind of like weather system. It wasn't really, it was there, but it wasn't like very big before I left. And then when I
Yeah.
left, it like got bigger, and I ended up going like into it. And I have no idea how big like the waves and stuff were, but it was all pretty big. Like it was nothing compared to what like it can be, but to me
Right.
yeah. Dude. There's no waves in the river. You know what I mean? It's like it was wild,
Yeah.
and then my rudder broke. The cable came off the quadrant.
Right.
So and then, but that happened at the worst time because it was at like the height of the wind and waves, and I was in the middle of repairing. Two of my battens came out of my mainsail, and
Oh,
and
jeez.
one of the slugs popped off as well. So I was trying to fix that, and then in the middle of trying to fix that, the rudder I lost control of the rudder, and then it
Right.
locked to starboard, and then just angled it so the waves were on the side, and I was just like rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beam to the seas,
yeah.
dude. That's like the spot you don't want to be
Dude, it's
ever.
it's like if the waves were any bigger, like they were big enough to like it would it was bringing it all the way over. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
like it was. I don't even remember, but I all I know is I was terrified, and so I like just jumped down in the cockpit or in the engine room to try and fix it, and dude, I got so sick in there, like it was bad. It was brutal because it was
Yeah.
between like just violent motion and then like the adrenaline. I just got so sick. I had to get out, come in here, and just lay on the couch with just to like chill everything out. Chill my just to calm down, chill out, and then went
Right.
back in and figured it out.
Oh man. Well, on that note, how is Phoenix doing?
Dude,
Is
she's
is the
doing so
cat?
good. Like she's been my biggest fear over with everything. Like she has been my biggest fear as far as like her well being and
Yeah.
like leading into it. And the first 2 days were like rough, and I was concerned a little bit. But dude, now she's a full blown. It's crazy to see like a full blown boat cat. Like she's a walking.
Nice.
She's like a walking gimbal. Like she gets around so much better than I do, and she's literally a gimbal that walks around,
Uh,
and she's totally comfortable. It can, dude. There's some nights where it gets so violent, and she's still like begging for food like a dog. You know what I mean? And like just like it doesn't phase her anymore. It's so weird to see how quickly It was 2 days, and she just changed to be back
Snapped
to normal.
right into
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, dude, it was funny because I got a lot of comments when I posted our first podcast up, and people were like, as a cat lady, I'm kind of concerned about Phoenix. I
Oh,
want to
dude, I
make
thought I
sure
was gonna
she's
get
going to be all
canceled.
right.
I thought I was gonna get canceled when 'cause, dude, that was like the biggest thing. People were making like videos about like what's going on with this cat. Is anyone else concerned about the cat?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
Right.
Here we go.
Yeah, nobody's worried about you. They're worried
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the cat.
yeah. I mean, that's fine with me. I'm more worried about the cat than me too. 'Cause she was
Oh
my biggest
shoot.
fear. Her being able to adjust. I didn't want to see because her spending. If she had spent all this time in discomfort, that would have translated over to me. You know
Yeah.
what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, for
That would have like
sure, for
really been
sure.
hard for me. So it was really cool and such a relief to like after the first 2 days when she just became completely normal, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
god, the relief was because I was literally the whole
Yeah,
time
dude.
I'm thinking of like where to go in California if she's if she like stopped eating or something, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna have to
Right, bail out. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and but she ate the whole time, no issues there, ate and drank the whole time, and but yeah, it was really cool to see her like come around, and now she's totally she's fine.
Just living it, dude.
Yeah,
Well, it's amazing how much you can adapt to that
yeah,
constant motion. I mean, I could see the stuff swinging around in the
yeah,
background.
yeah,
Obviously, I know the feeling and stuff, but
yeah,
like literally, you're getting tossed around
yeah,
right now
yeah, yeah.
out there in the middle of the Pacific, dude.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
It's
been a lot.
so cool. I gotta tell you, dude, I'm really psyched like to see
Yeah.
you out there. And that was so funny that my other buddy
Oh yeah,
Colin
yeah,
is just behind you.
yeah.
Colin Denker, like he's setting off
Does
solo.
he have
He
like a
left from
YouTube or anything?
Oregon. Pardon?
Does he have like a YouTube or anything?
He's only put out, I think, like one video about his trip from Oregon down to San Francisco. And then he jumped out, I think, just a few days ago,
Oh,
but
nice.
he's already cutting a pretty good path and stuff. And yeah,
Cool.
I mean, he and I first got into it trying to figure out how he can get that solo experience, and he just went for it, kind of just
Nice.
like you. So it's
Yeah,
it's it's pretty cool that there's a couple of you guys out there. It's
yeah.
a weird, it's a small world when it comes to the sailing
Yeah, there's got to
stuff.
be
It
something
really
wrong. I
is.
think there's got to be something wrong with him. He's
we
got
all
a screw
we
loose.
all got
Yeah, yeah,
trust me, people have been telling me that for years,
yeah,
so don't even let it phase you.
yeah.
Ah, well, this is so cool. How are you holding up though? I mean,
I'm good.
or before that, how did you like the becalmed section? Because
Oh,
that's like one of
it was
my favorite
it was
things.
it was really cool. Like I really enjoyed it, but it was the sails flapping
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
feel like I
yeah,
was
yeah.
destroying the sails. You know what I mean?
You eventually took them all down though, didn't you?
I took him down for a few. Like I wasn't really becalmed. I was becalmed, like pure, like real becalmed for like probably 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, and then it was
Yeah,
really light wind, so it was still like moving. I was going like
gotcha.
I don't know, what, like 20 miles one day or something, but
Nice.
but even in the
Yeah.
light winds, dude, it's so annoying, and I can't figure out how to like get the. So I've just been putting the preventer on the boom, and
Uh
but I
huh.
can only my preventer. I am using the cleat on the, and I'm doing like just a brake, like a boom brake.
Yeah.
There's a ring. I put some wraps around it, and then but it's basically a preventer because it doesn't go over. But I put it through the eye of the cleat on the on the side of the boat, and then it
Right.
runs back to another cleat in the cockpit, so I could pull the boom over from the cockpit.
From the cockpit.
Yeah,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
but I can't get the boom out far enough. So when I'm in like a swell and it's like 10 knots of wind, the boom just
Yeah.
keeps just slamming. It wants to jive constantly. So I don't really know what to do with it.
Well, if you can, what you really ideally want to do is tie your preventer to the very aft end of the boom and have that go all the way as far forward on the boat and then come back to your cockpit. And then you can
Oh,
you can get that boom all the way out and just have it cleated off. You just need a pretty long line to do that.
yeah. And then I would need something up front to go through.
Yeah, if you can tie off a little tiny cleat or
I don't know.
something,
I
because
don't
it
have anything
it
like
doesn't have to be able to move really easily, but as long as it's going from the back of the boom all the way forward and then back to the cockpit, that'll give you that range that you're looking for.
Okay, that's good to know. Because what I had been doing is and I know I've been hurting the sales. I should have looked all this stuff up, but I just been trying to figure stuff out.
Nah,
Never looked it
it's all
up.
right, man.
Yeah,
You're figuring it out now.
yeah, yeah. And what I've been doing is, so yeah, I run into the cleat and I just pull the main sheet in tight, so it's just locked between the preventer and the main sheet, so the boom's not
Yeah.
moving at all, but it's the sail that's like,
Yeah, it's
like
slatting,
yeah,
and honestly, that's it's one of those things. Like, it helps to stabilize the boat. Like, if you take it down, you roll a whole lot
yeah,
more,
right, yeah,
and the sail and the track can take a good amount of that. Like, I definitely slatted the sails, basically going all the way around the world
okay, cool.
whenever I
Do
was
I have to feel
becalmed.
guilty about that?
No, it's only when you start finding like rivet heads and screw heads and stuff, that's when you got to take the sails down. Like,
when you
get them
start,
down.
when you start what?
When you start finding like rivet heads and things like that on the deck, because the mast track is ripping out.
Oh
Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
that takes really, really specific conditions. But in the Southern Ocean, I used to get, after a big storm, you'd have like 20-foot waves and no wind. So
yeah,
imagine that, and
yeah,
the boat's
yeah,
just
right. That'd
heaving,
be
and
crazy.
so yeah, you just got to basically take all your sails down and strap yourself into the bunk. But you know,
Yeah,
you should have pretty good wind all the way down, but it's going to be a downwinder, so that preventer's for sure going to come in handy.
yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, I've got it in, and it's working. I came up with the idea to go back to the cockpit like a few
Yeah.
days ago. I'm sure people do it, and it's a common thing. But I was like, yeah, that's a good idea, because
Well,
to tack, I have to do all this work. But now I just sit in the cockpit and I can just pull it over on the other
I
side.
know, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Cool. And are you eating well? You drink enough water, all that sort of
yeah.
stuff?
I drink plenty of water. My I've got to fix my oven, just because I fell and I hit my oven, and I like bent the side or something. So every time it gimbals like forward, it gets stuck in a position, and then
Yeah,
it
yeah.
releases quickly, and so
Right.
all the stuff goes everywhere. So that's been annoying. But yeah, I'm eating good. I'm burned through all my snacks pretty quick though. I didn't
Yeah, oh yeah.
realize what I didn't do is pack it enough because I got these like MREs which are really nice, and there's because they're so easy to make, and you just pour hot water. But when it was like really rough in the beginning, I didn't realize that I wasn't gonna be able to boil water. You know what I mean? Because it's just a
Oh,
thing.
right, right. Yeah.
Boiling water is going everywhere, and you have to transfer the water into the thing, and you run the risk of like burning yourself. And so I just ate a bunch of granola bars. So I think next time what I'll do is get more like just food that's sustenance, and then you can just grab and eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all about like cheese and crackers and
Yeah.
things like, because
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
got a fridge on there, right?
I'm not using it.
You're not using it because of
Yeah.
power. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got you,
Well, the
got you.
Starlink is a fridge. I think that thing's
Yeah,
crazy.
dude, I
Yeah.
know, I know. Well, I gotta tell you, dude, after seeing how explosive and how many people are following the trip and are rooting you on and everything, like it's just amazing. Like, I peeled through some of the comments. Like, you are definitely inspiring quite a few people. Like, all these things that are getting thrown at you from the ocean,
Yeah.
you've been able to step up to and work your way through with also this great attitude. Like, how does it feel to just be out there and
Oh, it's
just
cool,
doing it,
man.
dude?
It's all, dude. The test wasn't. It hasn't been. I mean, I'm not done yet. Let's get to where I'm going,
Yeah,
and I'll say all the
yeah,
things. But I feel like the test hasn't been. Dude, the test was on the way to here. I was tested on the way to this. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's where the test was. And then once I got here, it's still like a big test, and it's like game time. But I don't know. I everything. I mean, that whole thing with the rudder situation totally was like a skit. I didn't. I came out of that situation a different person. Like that was terrifying, and
Yeah,
that was crazy. Did you see that? How I locked myself in the engine room?
in the engine room. I
Yeah,
know. I was
that was
like,
so
yeah,
big.
I'm just in here.
The worst, like every sailor's worst fear. I did it. And man, dude, when that door closed, I didn't have my phone or anything. The door goes slam, and I would have been able to get out either way because I have this
You have multiple access, right?
Just that right there, the engine.
Okay, yeah,
So if I couldn't get like leverage in there or something, I would have been able to punch that down. But um, yeah, dude, that
yeah. Punch it down, just like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's not very strong. I would have gone through it, but like, fortunately, there was like a crack, and I had a wrench, and I was able to
Yeah.
blew out the hinges to get out, and yeah, it's crazy. And
Well,
that,
but that's one of those things though, is like if you're about to head off on a voyage and you start letting something like that being like, oh man, what if I have like rudder failure when I'm out
yeah,
there? Those are the sort of things that can prevent people from just going for it. But you get into that situation without much experience dealing with that sort of stuff, and you're able to overcome it,
there's
right?
no other option,
And
you know.
yeah,
I
right,
didn't want to
exactly.
do it. I didn't want to overcome it. When it happened, I was literally like, "This is what am I doing? This is why
Yeah, right.
people was telling me not to do it." you know. and
I'm surprised I didn't get like a message on Instagram like, "Hey, Jerome, dude,
yeah,
you ever deal with a broken rudder or
yeah,
anything?"
yeah. No, I've thought about it. I literally it crossed my mind when it was happening, and but I looked down. Like I knew there was something wrong with the rudder, so I looked down. It took me a while to figure out the rudder was locked because I started using the hydrovane to steer the boat, and I couldn't
Oh,
get
okay,
I
nice.
couldn't get it back. It was like 3 hours I was dealing with this just chaos, and I couldn't get the boat back on track. So it took me like 45 minutes because I'm like thinking to myself, all right, the wind's too strong, or I've got too much sail out. So I tried to just put the jib out to see if the jib would turn the boat around, dude. And then I got like in the moment I remembered I was like James had the same sailor James had the same issue when he sailed from California to Hawaii, and he used buckets. So I like ran down,
Oh,
grabbed the
yeah,
bucket,
that's
and
right.
punched a hole in the side of the bucket and threw it over the opposite side. That didn't work, and I was like, dude, what is going on, man? and dude, in the bucket was just a bunch of like loose like fishing lures and stuff. And I just threw it all down the companion, poured it down the companionway. So all in here, when I come in here, it's like fishing hooks that I'm stepping on. and it was like,
Oh
God.
man.
And yeah, it was funny. And so that didn't work. And then I peeked down. And then I realized I look over because I'd looked over before, and the rudder seemed like it was just loosely floating. And then
Yeah.
I look over again, and it was locked in that position. And so I look underneath, and I saw that the quad. Like I just think the cables were loose. They just came off, or
Right.
the nut backed off, or something, and it just came off the quadrant. And I think also I was in like it was heavy seas, high winds, and I was just doing. It was just stupid. The whole thing was stupid. Like I didn't need to take the sail. What I should have done is gone to because I was in a second reef, and it was like 30 knots of wind, gusting like 34, and I was in a second reef, and one of the slugs in the second reef came out. So I should have just hindsight. I should have just put it down to the brand new bulletproof sails. I should have just put it down to the
Yeah.
third reef to eliminate that issue, and then just left the batten. The battens didn't like come out. They like I don't know how all sails are, but these sails they've got the battens in it, and then at the end that's next to the mast, the battens kind of like you can see them slide into the hole.
Yeah,
And
they slot right in,
yeah,
right?
and it like just popped out of that. So I mean, I should have just left it, but for some reason I was like, I need to fix this, which I did, but not right then, not then. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah, well, it is one of those things though. Like, one of the best pieces of advice I always tell my clients and stuff is that the the morning check where you walk around the boat and just
that's what
make
I do.
sure you got eyes on every screw, bolt, ring ding, all that, because you can prevent an avalanche from happening so easily just by seeing it
It's
right as it's just starting to work its way loose.
that's how I found the issues is because I took your advice. Every day I walk around and inspect everything, and look at the sales, and yeah, that's how I
Love
found
it.
the issue.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's great, man. Well, and I guess listen, my last question, because I know I don't want to eat up all your bandwidth and stuff, and
Oh,
hopefully
you're
we could
good,
do
dude.
another check in. But are you having a good time?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. It feels weird with the Starlink. It feels wrong. The whole
I've
viral.
never had it on my boat before, so
It feels
I don't
wrong,
quite
man. It
know.
feels weird. It does something about it. Like, dude, it's these two insane. Like, dude, crossing an ocean. It, always crossing an ocean is always an insane thing, right? And like doing it for your
Yeah,
first time, never sailing outside of a river and crossing an ocean is absolutely nuts. And then another thing that's absolutely nuts is going viral. Is absolutely nuts.
yeah,
And like
I can
both of
only
those things
imagine.
happened at the exact same time, and it was just been this weird. It's just been nuts. It feels wrong. It feels, and then also I've got all these like news people reaching. Everyone thinks I'm like some sort of like, uh, some sort of like modern day explorer, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm just a, this has been done so many times before me, and so many people have done so much cooler stuff. Like you, I've just done so much cooler stuff. It just feels weird. It feels wrong.
Well, here's the thing, man. Honestly, my take on the whole thing is that you are putting everything out there, your emotions, the highs, the lows, all of it, and
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. That resonates with people. So please, just keep on doing it. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't do any of the stuff to try and grow. Just keep doing what you're
Yeah.
doing
Right.
because it's great. It's great
Yeah.
stuff, man. I love
Thanks.
watching it, and you're letting us share in this experience. So I appreciate it for one.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll keep trying to do some things. I think I got to go actually.
Yeah, no worries. Well, here, listen. I'm gonna quickly stop this.